Coach, do you consider this a statement win? You guys really took it to the Clippers tonight, one of the best in the West.
I do not consider it a statement win. I consider it a win. I consider it an opportunity where we played well and an opportunity to figure out where we didn't play well. We left a lot on the table as far as our execution and the things we want to accomplish, so I do not consider it a statement win.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Coach, this team defensively, I feel like there's a sleeper on the team, Derek White. I mean, he's really good too, shot blocking wise. I mean, he gets these blocks. He had 3 blocks today, especially on when offensive players, off the jumper too as well. But just talk a little bit about him, what he brings to this team. I talked to Drew earlier today about him, and he said he's been very surprised with how nice Derek White is, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Just wanted to get your thoughts on him.
Yeah, I agree. You're starting to see some of what he can do as far as a well-rounded basketball player. And he's just a guy that impacts the game on both ends of the floor. So he's much appreciated by us, and people are starting to realize how good he really is. And he's very dynamic on both ends of the floor.
Jason specifically, what kind of hunger have you seen from him just in terms of how badly he wants to get back to the finals and compete again for another championship?
I think just understanding what success looks like and what the impact he's going to have nightly. He's become open-minded to what that looks like, and it could be different on different nights. And so tonight, leadership and value was they were blitzing pick and rolls, and he just decided that he was going to pick them apart, and he was going to be the ball handler, and he was going to find 2-on-1s and put guys in position to make the right play. And then he was able to find his shot. And then in the second half, we went to off-ball, and he screened and found ways to create advantages out of that. And so he's starting to see that there's never one way to be valued. There's never one way for greatness, and each night's going to present an opportunity. And then the defensive end, I think he's taken ownership of that, especially the last 8 or 9 games. He's played with much better physicality and presence defensively.
You mentioned there's stuff you thought you left on the table defensively. What areas?
We only had one 25-point quarter, 2 30s, and a 27. And then just executing matchup recognition and coverage changes out of timeouts. And so, you just have to fight for opportunities to figure out where you can get better. And that's an area we can get better, only one of those.
Jason's obviously, his shot hasn't been, his 3-point shot's been a little bit off for him. He missed the 2 early, then Nemes gets the offensive rebound, finds him for the 1, then Nemes keeps another possession alive. I think Peyton had got it to Jason. It seemed like Jason got going after that. What are those kind of plays? Obviously an unsettled situation, got things going. How do they kind of get
I think it's just more being comfortable with his shot profile and understanding, like, if you miss your first 2 shots, find other ways to be effective in the game. And I thought his defense remained the same. I thought his pick-and-roll passing remained the same. And then, credit to his teammates for making big winning plays that get him those opportunities. So it's just going to look different every night. You got to be open-minded to how you're going to impact the game, knowing that it starts with effort and physicality and toughness.
Coach, talk about the statement that you guys make with this kind of a win. Is there a statement that with such a big win against a team like the Clippers, what do you assess of that?
It's not a statement. It's just a game that we played, and we played relatively well for most parts of the game.
And what do you say as far as your coaching philosophy? How do you feel that you have improved over the year?
I would say just an identity. I think you always look for opportunities to build a philosophy and build an identity, and that comes with time. And, what we do is what we do. This is who we are. Open-minded, physical, tough defense, and fast-paced offense with recognizing matchups and taking advantage of those as a team.
Joe, he needs his minutes. 14 and 12 and 3 assists. He seems to be getting better every time he gets out there. What do you do with him when Luke comes back, and how do you kind of incorporate him more? Because it seems like he just makes things happen. He's in the action.
Yeah, and you just play them all, and that goes back to the sacrifice to professionalism and understanding of our team. Mimi's getting better and better, and he's done a great job of stepping up. And when Luke comes back, he'll do the same. And they both represent strengths for our team, and also take some pressure off of Al in moments. And we've gotten to a good identity of both big and small, double big, playing small. And we'll have even more opportunity when Luke gets back. But credit to Nimi for just continuing to work, and he's gotten better in the last 2 games. I know we talked about him a couple games ago, but his defensive adjustment execution has gotten better, and he's been working at it.
How important is it for him to get you extra possessions? Because the offensive rebound something that you guys?
We had 28 offensive rebounds.
Wow.
No, 15.
How important is it for his offense,
Yeah.
to get him getting you guys extra possessions?
No, it's especially against switching. So we expected more switching earlier in the game. They didn't do as much, but in the second half they went to switching, and he was still able to get some extra possessions, still able to create some 2-on-1s for us. So that's very important.
In the middle of the first, you usually go to Jalen to lead the second unit. I assume Al doing with JT.
Yeah, we switched it.
Yeah, and then JT didn't have his rhythm. His rhythm. He comes out there and just starts beasting on everybody, just getting really physical. How much is just the way he played physical lift everybody up, especially seeing with the bad ankle he was playing?
Physicality, that's the most important thing. And like those guys, you talk about leadership and value. They can't just score to make our team better. They have to do everything. And they're starting to realize. Jason's starting to realize his presence, his energy, his physicality just makes the people around him better. And we have to demand that from him at all times. And he did a good job of that.
And how excited were you at halftime when you looked at the box score and saw the shot margin for threes? Like you had made more, or I think the same amount that they had attempted.
I like math, but I liked our effort defensively as well. So you take a look at the first quarter against Sacramento. I felt like we were going shot for shot. In this game, we started the first quarter off with the 25-point quarter, and then I thought we just remained diligent in our defense, knowing that they have great players and they were going to score a little bit. But I liked that amongst the scoring that we're doing, we're still keeping a defensive identity. That's going to be important.
But on offense, you wanted to use Drew to kind of toy around with their center matchups. You got them like play dunker. Like just talk about the different ways you use them.
Yeah, we just have to find ways to combat switching. And so we got a great identity playing fast in transition. We got a relatively good identity playing fast versus coverages. And one of the things we want to work on is playing fast versus switching defense, whether it's on or off ball. And we have to be able to get guys off our body, create separation. And so our off ball execution tonight was good. And Drew's ability to kind of be a playmaker and roam a little bit and create those advantages was good.
Final couple of questions for Joe.
Jalen Brown's been playing really well. One thing I've been noticing his post-up game is improving. What are some improvements you've been seeing from him and things that you'd like to, seeing him just grow?
Posting the right matchups and then getting into post play with poise. Not always posting to score, posting to make the right play. Does a good job of getting to his spot. Did a good job posting Powell in that one spot, and I think he passed one out. I think he made one. So just being diligent in his post and using it as another tool for us to change the frequency of the game.
Joe, 289 points in the last 2 games, both regulation. Is this the best you've seen your offense play in the last maybe week or so?
I think so. I think I don't think it's because of the points. I think it's because of the execution. I do like the fact that we're developing a fast-paced identity and not turning it over. I think at times in the past we've played fast but have turned it over. So we're finding a good balance of pace and execution, which I think is important. But it's not because of the points. I've just liked our execution. We're recognizing coverage is faster. We don't, sometimes it takes a timeout to recognize it. So we're recognizing the coverage faster, and we're changing our screening recognition versus that, and I think that's a huge key for us.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.